Hartford Athletic hopes Game 2 of their homestand is better than Game 1 as they prepare to host Loudoun United here at Trinity Health Stadium. And a good evening, everybody, along with my broadcast partner, Mark Donaldson. I'm Joe D'Ambrosio, and Mark, as Brendan Burke said during the week, everything that could go wrong did go wrong in a 4-0 loss to El Paso Locomotive that may not have been as close as the final score would indicate.
Is that what happened last Saturday? I'd forgotten all about it. And that's what they have to do as well. He's right, and he took full blame for that, but you move on. It's not a cup competition. You've got many league games to play. A chance to bounce back tonight against a side that the table suggests they should be beating.
Coming off a 3-3 tie with Loudoun City, let's get to our ones to watch. And even though he gave up more goals in one game than he had for the rest of the year, Anthony Siaha still leads the USL in saves.
Didn't do anything wrong last week. It was just mistakes all over the place. He was actually really good. He made a couple of really good saves in that game last week. He's made 23 of them in total. That's probably more than he would like to make, but you know he's a safe pair of hands behind the defence.
And for Loudoun, they boast one of the league's most electric strikers in the former Duke Blue Devil from Iceland, Thor Ulfarsson.
So I'm friends with his college coach, John Kerr. I sent him a message saying, what was he like when you had him? Quote, he's an assassin in front of goal, best all-round finisher I have worked with in any player that I've coached in college.
Ulfarsson comes in after a brace last week against Loudoun City. As far as the standings go, Hartford looking up at several teams. Loudoun City above them, Charleston above them. But if you're Hartford, you built up some capital so you could withstand one performance like last week.
Yes, not two.
Youngsters are out. It's an overcast, chilly night, but it's a beautiful night for soccer. The beautiful game about to be played here at Trinity Health Stadium. Glad you're with us. Lineups and kickoff coming up next on ESPN Plus and locally on the Wax.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
The Great Fire of 1835 forced most insurance companies to close, but not us. The day our founders pitched in to pay every claim is the day the Hartford became the Hartford.
At Lux Bond & Green, we have been designing and crafting custom jewelry for decades. It's an art as much as a science, and really there's no room for error. It comes down to 100 little choices made by our own artists and experts who listen to you and create your perfect engagement ring by hand. Quality, value, and selection. Lux Bond & Green Jewelers throughout Connecticut and Massachusetts.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank the Mandel JCC of Greater Hartford, the official fitness center of Hartford Athletic. Visit mandeljcc.org to learn more.
Almost set to kick this one off. Let's take a look at the lineups. And Mark, one change for Hartford from a week ago.
Yeah, much needed as well. Left-hand side, TG Prestus comes in for Sadat Anaku. Mishi Ingalina and Obalola will be in support of Augie Williams. Seb Anderson will provide the width from the right-hand side.
And for Loudoun United, Anthony Limbrick has decided to go with the same team that took Lou City to a 3-3 draw.
Yeah, they were good, very good middle to front last week, and if it ain't broke, then it doesn't need fixed. All eyes on number 17 Thor Ulfarsson, the Icelandic striker who on his day can be practically unplayable.
4 goals on the season. Brendan Burke familiar with him from their time together with Houston Dynamo, where Ulfarsson scored 7 goals in MLS, had a terrific career at Duke. As you look at some of the fans, 61 degrees, winds out of the east at about 8 miles an hour. Not the most comfortable night, but certainly not uncomfortable. Well, not compared to what it's been during the week.
Maybe not for you. This is lovely.
Says the man from the land.
The land
overseas, the land of chilliness. Kickoff of tonight's match has been delayed. We expect the match to begin shortly. It gives us a chance to get to our keys to the game, which are brought to you by Hoffman Auto Group.
Amnesia is required for Hartford. It happened last week. Learn from it, move on, don't make the same mistakes again, and hope that there's a better option on the left-hand side, which there looks like there is. TJ Prestis, who came on in that position last week. And Ulfarsson with 4 goals this season for Thor. That's not a problem, but they concede too many at the other end. That is.
And when we looked at the lineup, 2 big additions to the Hartford lineup. On the bench, Samuel Carriaga, who has not played since the opener, and Barry Coffey, the big Irishman who played in the first 3 games but hasn't played since.
This could be 2 of the biggest things for Hartford, getting those 2 players back.
Loudoun dressed in white, trimmed in black, Hartford in the green kits. And it's game on here at Trinity Health Stadium. Augie Williams is a guy who Hartford would like to get unlocked. Scored 2 goals in the first 3 games and has not scored since. Obalolo will be used in a supporting role of Williams up front as they play kind of a 1-3-1-5. 6, Kwame Oahu, former All-American Conference performer for UConn. Sent downfield where Asel Asenga, the Cameroonian who played for Phoenix last year, touches up. Played in the middle of the pitch and knocked out. Our injury report brought to you by the Flood Law Firm. Real trial lawyers, real results. Visit thefloodlawfirm.com. Loudoun with a host of injured players, including the exciting young players Abtalif Abukora, who has not played yet this season, nor has their outstanding center back Jacob Erlinson. So Anthony Limbrick, in his first year in charge, has been playing undermanned. And as we noted in the off-air production meeting with producer Tom Stanwicks, they have a very short bench.
Just 4 outfielders, 5 in total with Ethan Bandry, the goalkeeper, which is something that might be an issue later on.
So the keeper, Beaudry, his kit isn't that dissimilar to what the field players are wearing. It's a little different color, but
looks like you've put a Loudoun white kit in the wash with something that's red and it's dyed.
And it came out a different color. Yes. That's a way to save money. Here's Arturo Dizpe. They played for Engalina up on the right. And it will be the first corner kick of the match coming in the 4th minute.
See, that's the kind of pass I like from Dizpe. There's always a tendency to maybe go too long, and especially if it's a centre-back, a lot of the times that isn't going to be as accurate. But that kind of pass into that channel for Mishi to win the corner, that could get Hartford some success tonight. It was good from Dizpe.
Loudoun has had some problem on set pieces this year. Dizpe and Britton Fisher, big targets. Here's a header by Prestis. TJ Prestis getting the start tonight, almost snuck in there for his first goal of the year.
Do you know what? Something just told me to keep an eye on Prestis, and I did, and I saw his movement, which was exceptional. and he got free of his man. He met it perfectly. That's a really good save by Baudry.
And the ball played in perfectly from the northeast corner by Seb Anderson. Prestis again, save made by Baudry.
Wow.
TJ Prestis with 2 delicious opportunities, snuffed out by the former Colorado Rapids member, I should say, Adam Baudry.
Outstanding from the keeper. And really well worked. That's the threat as well you have with TJ Prestis in the lineup. You need a good delivery. That's 2 good deliveries, 2 super attempts. He'll be scratching his head how he's not scored.
Loudoun comes in 0-2-3. Baudry comes out to play it off the ground. Tonight's military appreciation match is presented by Travelers. It'll be a throw-in for Loudoun.
Not sure what was the better save. They were both outstanding. I think he might have seen the second one a little bit later. But that's a positive from Hartford right at the start. 2 really good deliveries.
They try to target Williams in the middle.
But look at the intensity there, Joe.
Yep.
That was missing last week. Everything was missing.
Everything was missing last week.
But you know what? There's no point in having 6 good ones and 5 bad ones in your starting 11 in a game, because you're probably not going to win. You may as well just have 11 bad ones, forget about it, and then have 11 good ones the next week. That's the hope.
They try to send it to Angelina. Never gets there, and Loudoun switches field. 17 in the middle, Ulfarsson. They send it up the left side to Pacific Nyangaberi.
He's not getting many touches of the ball tonight from you, is he?
Oh, he will. Murphy, the captain tonight.
I like him when he comes forward, Nyangaberi. It's a kind of 3 at the back with him allowed the freedom of the right-hand side. And he usually takes it in support of Marcos Diaz.
Could have been a play on as the ball went to Richie Amon. But whistled down. Our referee tonight, Ethan Yaya, did 2 Hartford matches last year. The El Paso loss and the tie with Lou City. Or rather, I'm sorry, the loss to Lou City. Just the start of things here at Trinity Health.
I like the energy from Hartford. They're putting pressure on and they're hunting in packs as well. But that's well played from Loudoun. They're a good footballing side, middle to front.
Good technical team, according to Brendan Burke.
They are, very good.
Here's Nyangabire. Play it into the box. Prestis there to play it up ahead to Morera.
It's good from Obalola to get the little boot in.
Prestis with the steal. Finds Williams. Got a head on it before he got run over by a Senge.
That should have been a free kick for Hartford for the challenger, Augie Williams. Brendan Burke. Arms outstretched. Can't believe that the referee didn't give that.
There you see Hartford's third-year head coach pleading his case.
I don't think the referee's going to change his mind now.
Usually he hasn't. Obalola with the header to Prestis, and Hartford regains possession.
I just sensed last week they were flat. I don't know why. And then a couple of mistakes and they conceded. I don't get that sense this week. I sense they're on their toes. They're up for this. They want to make amends.
You know, one of the comments Brendan Burke made was their energy was way off. Here's Prestis overlapping on the left. Morera trying to set up.
You know when your friend's getting married and you go, we call it a stag do, what do you call it, bucks night or something like that?
Stag party.
Stag party. You go all out on the first night and then there's another night to come. Night 2 was Hartford last week. It was that, oh, God, I've got another night. Energy levels are not quite there. Nice
move up the sideline by Angelina to get a step. The service. Prestis, the header. Easy play for the 20-year-old from O'Fallon, Missouri. In fact, birthday for Adam Baudry today. Turning 20 today. No score, but Hartford's had far the better of play in the first 9 minutes. Obalola tried to split a double team.
Yeah, it's not a foul.
Looking back, no foul called. You can see this is pretty harmless, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ran into the guy.
He's actually played it against the defender. It's ricocheted back off him after he's run into him. So, good call by the official. Yeah, first to most balls, Hartford, in the opening 10 minutes. That'll please Brendan Burke, who's gone for the hoodie look today.
Yeah, you mentioned the energy, and that's one of the things Brendan mentioned this week. You said the energy was way off a week ago.
I don't want to see too much of that for Jordan Scarlett. There will be space in behind, but maybe not too much. But that's not coming from an angle either. That's played from central, long, kind of diagonal, didn't work. That should be kept to a minimum tonight.
The Hartford is back again and excited to help our team win from kickoff to extra time. They're proud to show their support for our amazing community as a founding partner of Hartford Athletic. Visit thehartford.com to learn more. There's a foul on the far side as Engelina is taken down. Loudoun started the season losing to Pittsburgh, drew Miami, drew Legion, lost to Tampa Bay, and then tied Lou City at 3 as Engelina up on his feet.
Yeah, they know where the back of the net is, but they also struggle to keep clean sheets. Just the one this season in a home 0-0 with Miami.
Yeah, tied for 21st in goals conceded with 11. Tied for 5th in goals scored for 8.
Yeah, one of their issues this season, you've mentioned it already, is defending set pieces, and they've got to do that here.
Anderson will initiate.
To see Hartford maybe with a late run from Prestis, or Augie Williams just peeled off the centre back. He's at the edge of the D. Just match up, but then have someone spare that can maybe get around, and if this is preordained from Sebi Anderson, which it is.
They play it wide to Engelina. Michi with a wahoo, tries to take him to the byline. Plays it back to Anderson, and Hartford will reset. Now Morera. Obalola with space out on the left. The chip to the 18. Played up in the air. And we've got a foul, offside on Hartford. And that's one thing that really frustrated Brendan Burke last week. 8 offsides. He just said that it was lazy.
That's exactly the word I was about to use. We were in line with a lot of them in the first half, and totally lazy. Do you remember last week they changed ends?
Yep.
El Paso. No one really does that here when they come here. They win the toss and just like, whatever, we'll take the kick off. But they changed ends, and just from that point on, even if it's a psychological thing, Hartford just didn't show up.
Good hustle by Williams to track it back to Morera. Now Deespe, pressured by Ulfarsson.
Again, another good ball from Deespe. They're thoughtful passes.
Williams taken down by Asenga. So Hartford will reset. At Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals.
There's an overlap on the right-hand side for Hartford with where Sebi Anderson's playing. He's got the ball right now.
You know, last week, Hartford never able to complete more than 2 passes at a time.
Just
and that
kept
was
coming
another
back to them, didn't it?
Yeah. The word that Brendan Burke used a couple of times in my conversation with him this week was surreal to describe what we saw here last week.
Yeah, because of the way they'd started the season. It was so good. They looked so tight at the back. The defence was outstanding in the game against Brooklyn, the game at Birmingham, even at Sporting Jacks.
Anderson called for the foul, so it'll be a restart for Loudoun.
Got to keep the intensity up. They've started well. They've got to keep that up. Can't just let it drop, let their levels drop.
They let Beaudry come all the way out. He missed the first game. He had been with the team in training camp, then was recalled by Colorado Rapids, and then was finally freed up after game 1. Ethan Bandre, the backup, played in the loss to Pittsburgh. One of the few times they've had the ball up at this end. 10, the veteran Pedro Santos. Played out here to Nian Gabiri. Chases it. Britton Fisher clears it out of danger. Throw in for Loudoun.
Something I want you to keep tabs on. When we get a wide shot of the pitch, is the movement of Thor in attack. This is a kid that never stands still. He's always on the move, and that's why he gets as many goals as he does. He's not easy to mark.
That play was Hartford-esque from last week, as James Murphy didn't control the throw-in from Nian Gabire. And they pressed us back. This is a series that Hartford has dominated 9-1-1 here at Trinity Health, 12-5-1 overall. But until Hartford's win late last year, Loudoun had won 5 of the previous 6.
Home team's won 8 of the last 9 meetings, though.
Here's Anderson. Nice ball to Ngalina. Williams tries to dummy it through for Obalola, and Beaudry slides out.
Yeah,
good job by Noah Adnan to shield the Hartford player, and Beaudry is down.
The problem is that he's come out and he's slid into Noah Adnan, and he's come off worse.
Randy's Worcester Street Pizza, the official pizza of Hartford Athletic. Stop by the stadium or visit their other Connecticut locations to enjoy some of the best pizza Connecticut has to offer. Plus, check out their new hospitality catering options here at Trinity Health Stadium all this year. So, Adam Beaudry back on his feet. Presti's very active. TJ back in the starting lineup. Came in last week for Anaku. Foul called on Obalola.
There's a certain level of strength that you can use, but when you go out of your way to make sure that your opponent can't get the ball and you don't either, it's usually you who is penalized.
Gentleman in the glasses, his first year as the head coach, Anthony Limbrick, said he spoke to former Hartford coach Harry Watley to find out about USL Championship. Says he's been impressed with what he's seen from the league thus far. Akinyode has problems with the ball in the air. And Williams tripped up.
They're trying to frustrate him. They're trying to do this. If they can get away with it, then from a Loudoun perspective, all the better. But they want a reaction from Augie Williams. That's the 4th or the 5th time he's been fouled, and they're taking it in turns to foul him. This time, it's Isenge.
So it'll be a Hartford restart from halfway between midfield and the box. And it'll be Anderson on the restart. USL on the CBS Sports Network wraps up the month of April with a Prince Tires USL Cup Group 5 matchup. Northeastern rivals Hartford Athletic and Rhode Island FC battle it out at 7 o'clock Eastern next Saturday. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network. Means we get the night off. Anderson into the box, headed by Akinyode, and Beaudry comes out with it.
I'll be here. Maybe with a beverage in hand.
Diet Coke? Root beer? But beer might have been right. Root probably not right.
Oh, if it's a night off, you want it. I mean, it's $5 beers tonight. Obviously, might sound like we've had a couple, but we haven't.
Not yet. Here's Awua overlapping. Anderson right there with him. Deespe using his hands to play defense there. Now Awua. James Murphy. Hartford's marking so much tighter this week.
The bar wasn't exactly high.
Right, exactly. Here's Nian Gabire trying to dance on TJ Prestis.
Came back off him, should be a goal kick.
And it will be a goal kick for the home squad. 19 minutes in, no score. Hartford has had the better of play positionally and have had the better of chances. Those couple of chances off corners by TJ Prestis. Although they only gave Hartford credit for one shot on goal.
Not quite sure how that works. Because it was 2 super saves, and without those saves,
it would be 2-0. Siaha triggers the restart. And Galena marked closely by the veteran Pedro Santos. It's been around, spent 8 years in MLS, scoring 27 goals with 30 helpers. Here's Britton Fisher. Good anticipation. Prestes, though, fights to get the ball back. See, as you said, Mark, that's something that didn't happen last week. Although a good job by Noah Adnan to displace Obalola, although Hartford gets it right back.
This looks to me like TJ Prestes has a point to prove. He was one of my players of the year, if not the player of the year last year, and I feel he's been hard done by not starting. But you've got two choices: go in the huff or make it count when you get a chance.
Anderson for Williams, but he's well marked inside the box and couldn't get to the ball. Good job by Noah Adnan, former Stanford Cardinal. Now the Yaley, TJ Prestes. There's prestigious universities here: Yale, Duke, Stanford. Moreira. Off to Macangila. Now Anderson serves it into the box for Williams. Never gets there. Prestes will chase it down.
We both sensed a frustration from Brendan Burke that Emmanuel Samaria has still got some paperwork issues and can't get back into the country. The Sierra Leone international. That's been a big problem for Hartford on that left-hand side, but they've certainly found a solution so far. TJ Prestes has been excellent. Hartford has a throw.
And it will be Anderson, who specializes in the long throw, to trigger. Deespace try to get ahead on it, and if at first you don't succeed, try it again. Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's favorite vodka for a reason, distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's is known for great vodka, giving back, and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Deespace done really well there in using his height to nod that on, and Augie Williams is always like a fox in the box. He's always a threat, and that time Loudoun were able to quell and quash the threat of Augie Williams, but he's been closer to the action tonight in the opening 22 minutes than he has been the last 2 or 3 weeks, not just last week. The game before against Miami didn't quite get the service he was looking for, and no surprise, Hartford came up with a blank in both of those weeks.
It's interesting you say fox in the box. That's how Ulfarsson was described by his coach. It'll be a throw-in for Noah Adnan.
Icelandic foxes are more hardy than most other foxes, given the winters they have to deal with, like Canadian foxes.
So you're saying harsher than they're hardier than Canadian foxes?
No, they're up there. They're up there.
Equal?
Yeah, I mean we're way north of the Mason-Dixon line for there.
They played cross field in the middle of Santos. Awuha plays it up ahead for Ulfarsson. Can't come up with it. Prestes does and plays it upfield. Good hustle by Williams to get ahead on that, even though it goes right to his Senge. And then foul on Obalola as he takes a Senge down.
Yeah, these are all little fouls from Obalola, but they're fouls that can add up for persistent fouling later on. He's had 2 or 3 of these, unnecessary ones. Just got to keep the discipline. Don't want to get... But he's just being spoken to right now, Obalola, and told exactly that. Look, you've had a few of these. You're not going to get many more. I just want to go back a little bit to Ulfarsson, Thor at the other end. They have to get closer to him. His teammates have to get closer, whether it's Marcos Diaz, whether it's Richie Amon, whoever it is. He won that flick above 2 Hartford defenders, and he's immediately said, come on, I need more help. They have to play closer to him if they want more success, Loudoun.
These teams split a pair of games last year. Younger B-Ray. The drop back to Adnan. Now Murphy. Asenge, who's got that left hand taped up. Williams has the right hand taped up, and Augie called for the foul. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings.
Brendan Burke's got his arms outstretched, and he's asking the fourth official, what was that all about? The referee made some sort of signal. No one seems to know what it was for.
Nyangabiri working against Britton Fisher. Serves it in. Scarlett in the 6 clears it out to Obalola. Tries to play it and can't. Brendan Burke.
He tripped while he was doing that, and he tried to do the whole. It was part of the deal.
Brendan Burke more vociferous than we've seen him this year, and now the fourth official reining him back. That's Colby Johnson.
Colby will get his steps in tonight, chasing Brendan.
Richie Amon on the far side against Anderson, tries to take him to the outside. Now swings it back. Santos serves it in, shoots it wide.
There's another example of what I was saying about Thorne, his movement. He doesn't always occupy that spot in between Jordan Scarlett and Deespay, or between Scarlett and Britton Fisher. He'll come short as an option, and that allows other Loudoun players to kind of go in advance of him, but it gives Hartford a problem in that, where's he? Where's he gone? What do we do? And then you see him, and then it's too late. But so far, so good from Hartford at the back.
Fisher with room to run. Takes it into Loudoun territory and then plays a nice ball to Moreira. Swings it on the right to Anderson. The chip for Williams, can't get to it. Goes out. Corner for Hartford, their third of the match.
Tell you why I really like this, because it's brave on the ball from Britton Fisher. This is before it gets wide to Anderson to cross it in for Augie Williams. You've got 3 centre-backs and you're in possession. One of them can go forward.
This is the first corner kick of the night from the northwest corner. The other two on the opposite side by Seb Anderson. Let's see if Prestis can work free again. Fisher does a good job using his body to shield. Here's Obalola.
Just a heavy touch.
Can't control, but it goes up into row 6 of the stands.
That was good from Fisher.
Time for your favorite read of the night. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Lux Bond and Green, jeweler since 1898, celebrating life's special moments. No score, though. Hartford has had far the better of play thus far. But a turnover. Oahu with plenty of room to roam.
He kind of knew what he was going to do, Anderson, and he didn't disguise it well enough. That's why he lost possession. I want to see him get more involved in the game, because if they can get a centre-back forward when they've got possession, and also Sebi Anderson's an option, that'll really help Hartford.
Good anticipation by Prestis. Here's Michi Angelina. Cleared out of there by Adnan. Good hustle by Deespay. Keeps the possession for the green. Moreira. Square to Macangila. Now Angelina drops back to help and finds Fisher. No score. 29th minute. And we've got a whistle.
Yeah, look, Sebi Anderson's done really well to win it, and I'm not buying that he's hurt. No, Adnan. Sorry, Awua. I think it's one of those where it's a really good tackle. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I think he was trying to influence the referee's decision. Kwame Awua.
Toronto native. Let's see what happened here.
Anderson's just gone for it. Yeah, there's contact on the follow-through. It's not a foul.
So, it'll be a drop ball for Hartford. There you see Kwame Awuha, the Toronto native. 83 games played. 2-time All-American Athletic Conference Midfielder of the Year in the league in 2015. The co-Midfielder of the Year. Hartford switches fields to Fisher. Macangila Has to go backwards with it, and then Scarlett plays it up ahead for Williams. Here's Prestis on the run, but Nyangabire is there. But carries it out.
Goal kick.
It will be a goal kick.
He's done well there. Nyangabire.
Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Williams tried to get free, but Akinyode able to touch it back.
How did that start? It started with TJ Prestis again winning the header. He's been really good so far.
Far side, Richie Amon. Tied for the team lead with 7 chances created on the year.
But hasn't had much service tonight, has he?
No, not at all. Played up ahead. Looking for Pacifique Nyangabire. Gets it back. Fancy move around Fisher. The service. Olfarsson couldn't get to it. Good job by the Hartford defense there to clear it out. Now Santos keeps it alive.
There's that run again.
Into the box it goes. The drop, and Olfarsson sends one towards Wethersfield.
But by the way, if you watched the game last week when Loudoun played against Louisville, he scored an absolute stunner from around that distance. He just caught it so sweet, albeit it was on the right-hand side. But that's what he does. I was speaking earlier about how some strikers will just go and they'll not be that mobile, but he'll move, he'll come short, he'll go to the edge of the box like he does there. He'll be that option. Really like this kid. If he could add consistency to his game, he could go anywhere.
Giveaway by Hartford. But Makingila is there to steal it back away. Well, that's the thing. He's kind of enigmatic. Some days he comes to play and he's all in, and some days it's just not there.
But you know what, Joe? That's why he's in this league.
Right. Played up ahead for Williams. Too far. Asenge gets ahead on it. Akinyode plays it back. Almost stolen by Abalola. He gets to it. Beaudry comes out. Kept in. Sent through, and Williams can't get to it. Cleared away by Santos. Now Makingila in the middle. Double teamed, has it taken away. Played up ahead. Scarlett with the slide tackle. Bangs it off Olfarsson.
Outstanding.
Great play by the captain.
He just celebrates like he scored a goal, clenched fist. He had to get that right. He doesn't get that right, he's in the book. I just want to go back to that comment about being in this league. Anybody who's top of their game and consistent week in, week out will be snapped up by others. There are so many raw, talented individuals in this league who might not be able to be 8 out of 10 every week. But with other leagues, if it's MLS or abroad, looking at this league, you've got to be able to spot someone that's got that ability but maybe doesn't have that consistency. This is a league that's full of talent, but it needs a bit of patience if someone comes in to sign them.
Ethan Yaya having a word with Asenge and Augie Williams. Soccer season is here. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Speaking of geek, Jody Ambrosio, Mark Donaldson, with you on this Saturday night. Game 2 of a 4-game homestand. Next week it's Prinks USL Cup action against the Rhode Island FC, and then a week off, and then Detroit FC comes in.
So you're talking weather. Tomorrow it's winter. We've had summer all week for the last 3 or 4 days. Winter tomorrow, possible snow. Spring returns later in the week, and then it's fall again by the end of next week.
Nice move on the far side. They look for Olfarsson. Good job by Deespe to steal it away. Long ball up for Williams, but Asenge takes it away, and then Akinyode with the move.
He's done well. Both of them did well there. Otherwise, that could have been a problem for Loudoun.
Murphy's pass goes astray to Akinyode, so it'll be a Hartford throw. You know, even though Hartford's had the pressure and the shots are 5-2, the only two dangerous shots were the two by Prestis early.
Mm-hmm. And that half chance for Thor.
Yes, exactly.
But not as good an opportunity as the two that TJ had. Two super saves.
Relatively clean first 35 minutes, which is probably the kiss of death for that. Good hustle that time by Anderson. But he knocks it right to Asenga. When it comes to minimally invasive surgical options, St. Francis Hospital is leading the way with the latest, most advanced robotic surgical systems available. Surgeons at St. Francis delivering innovation and excellence, whether it's complex procedures or routine surgeries. St. Francis offers state-of-the-art care with smaller incisions, faster recovery times, and unmatched precision. Learn more about robotic surgery at St. Francis by visiting trinityhealthofne.org/robot. Here's Noah Adnan, marked by Williams, and Williams will get called for the foul. And Dan Gaspar, the keeper coach, and Brendan Burke, both off the bench.
So Hartford are complaining that that wasn't a foul. Loudoun are complaining that there have been too many of these.
Oh, and then Williams gets bumped. So referee Yaya will have a few words with Murphy and Williams.
What was that said about 10, 15 minutes ago? They've been taking it in turns to try and wind him up, and it's working.
Yeah. Trying to get him off his game. One thing Brendan Burke wanted to see more from Augie is going more vertical. Said that Hartford's just not a very intricate offense, and they need Williams to go north-south. Now a little discussion at the 18 between Ulfarsson and Diespe. Starting to heat up a little bit in the 37th minute.
There's been a bit too much of this from the referee.
Yeah.
For my liking. If you're going to do something about it.
He's trying to be diplomatic, and instead he's slowing the game down.
There comes a point, though.
Right. At some point, you got to pull out the yellow. Here's Oahu. Siaha elevates and comes up with it.
I want to see a bit more from Mishi and Galina defensively. On one side and Obalola defensively on the other. What now?
Oh, they're going to say Siaha was outside the box. Or did he take too much time? I think it was too much time.
Well, you have 8 seconds, but the referee's meant to count them down. Let's see.
Well, technically he was a step outside the box.
Yeah, but it's not where his foot is, it's where the ball is. And it's where he touches the ball last, and it didn't look like he was outside the box here.
So here's Yaha.
Brendan's going to get a yellow card.
First one of the year for Brendan Burke. Fans, that yellow card was a warning, and your home might be giving you one too. Don't wait for a red card to fix that aging roof or drafty windows. When your home shows signs of trouble, stay in the game with New Face Home Improvements. They tackle the small issues before they become major league problems. New Face Home Improvements, your home's best defense.
The fact he's given a corner means it was a time violation. Otherwise, it would have been a free kick at the edge of the box for a handball outside.
So Burke gets his first yellow of the year. Nothing results out of the corner, although they keep possession. Ulfarsson with some fancy moves, sends it across. Cleared out of there by Diespe, and a foul is called for a push in the box.
Good from the referee, really good from Diespe. Problem for Marcos Diaz on this near side. He's down and requiring treatment.
Referee just sees him Brendan Burke still engaged with the fourth official, Colby Johnson.
Who thankfully is wearing his earpiece in his right ear, so at least that won't be too sore tomorrow morning.
So they're calling for the athletic trainer, Drazen Vukovic, to come out and attend to the 24-year-old from Brazil, Marcos Diaz.
So what have we seen so far? We saw in the opening 20 minutes Hartford taking the game to Loudoun, good intensity. I spoke about how that can't afford to drop. It's not dropped that much, but Loudoun have come back into the game and their starting positions have been a bit more advanced. So maybe this isn't a bad thing right now while Marcos Diaz gets treatment, that the players can come over and the Hartford coaching staff can have a word with them 5 minutes before half-time.
Still attending to Diaz. This was the third week of Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup play. Only 2 of the 9 USL teams were winners. Lou City beat Austin 2-1, and Switchback shut out Sporting KC 3-0. So in 2 weeks, Lou City goes to Houston, which whooped up on El Paso 4-1. We mentioned last week how much El Paso was putting into that Lone Star State rivalry, and it'll be an all-Colorado battle between the Switchbacks and Colorado Rapids. Wild game in Minnesota. United and Sacramento played a scoreless tie, decided in the 9th round of penalty kicks.
Momo Dieng played in that one, didn't he?
Played the first 100 minutes, then was taken off. I looked up the former Hartford striker's numbers. He has not played much for United, struggling to find a way out of the pitch as they continue to work on Marco Diaz.
What is your over-under on the added time at the end of this first half, given the number of stoppages we've had?
I would give you 6 minutes.
I was thinking 5. I think that's a good shout. 5 or 6.
Diaz is up.
You would think, judging by the attire on many supporters, that it's deepest, darkest winter in Connecticut.
Well, because it had been so warm. Everybody's bodies had adjusted to the warm weather. It was summertime.
What about people that have got the heating / air conditioning dual season thermostat in their house? It's just, you don't know what to do. This is typical April weather.
Yeah, of course it is. Although it was warmer than it normally is when it gets warm in April. Usually it gets to the 70s. It was up in the upper 80s, and we're going to get a substitute right away. It's going to be Archimedes Ordonez. So it appears Diaz's night has come to an end in the 42nd minute. Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Travelers. Thanks to Travelers, supporting partner of our community ticket program. Children from underserved communities throughout Greater Hartford are able to come to the matches free of charge. So the first sub of the night will be the 22-year-old from Cincinnati, the Guatemalan national. They will get him in at the first opportunity, 11v10, until he can come on. Hartford being methodical. Here's Seb Anderson.
I think Hartford's game changers are not on the field right now.
Well, certainly with Cariaga and Coffey available. Cariaga probably good for 10 or 15 minutes plus stoppage time. Not sure how much Coffey will be able to play, if at all.
Not much more, I would imagine.
Anderson with the one touch, and Galena gets to it, sends it through. Beaudry at the near post comes up with it.
They've switched quite a lot today so far, left and right, Michi and Galena and Obalola.
Well, that was part of the game plan coming in. Originally, Michi was going to start on the left, but they changed that up a little bit. And we got another player down.
Right, so how many times has he been spoken to? This should be a yellow card.
Asenge pleading to the referee. Let's see what Augie Williams did there against Bolu Akinyode.
If the referee, regardless of what we think, doesn't matter. The referee thinks that is a foul, given all the other times he's spoken to him.
Well, I think that's what Loudoun is preaching, but
I can see Augie Williams as well because, I mean, was that a foul? Referee thought so, but Augie was protesting his innocence. I just have a little concern that he's starting to lose a little bit of control over this one. Needs
here's
to
the
get those cards
substitute.
out.
Ordonez for Diaz, so Loudoun back to 11 aside. I think even more stoppage time now, Mark. I think 6 may be a little light.
Yeah, it could be.
No score. Shots are 5-2 in favor of Hartford. Loudoun still looking for their first shot on target, and it is. 5 minutes of Brignall Vineyard stoppage time. So you, sir, win the prize for the night. There's Williams battling in midfield, tries to get it ahead, and Galena can't get a boot on it. Esenge does.
They've made it bitty, Loudoun, and it's in their favour, and it's gone against Hartford. They've got to find a way to get control of this game against Hartford.
Nice spinning move by Pedro Santos to trigger the offense. Played toward Ordonez.
That's a goal kick. That is a goal kick. It's been given as a corner, but...
Second corner of the night for El Paso. The earlier one was on the delay penalty on Anthony Siaha.
See, when 5 players in the one team at once, the minute something happens, all put their hands up.
Sign of unity.
Well, they've seen something that the referee saw something else.
In swinger. Obalola. Santos tried to play it. Boy, James Murphy got taken down. He was looking for a penalty. It was not called. And Obalola clears it out of danger. Now they're screaming at the sideline official. It's been an awful lot of conversation on the pitch.
Let's talk more action, please, in the second half from everybody.
But for all the conversation, the only yellow went to the Hartford coach.
Who's got a point there because Loudoun's just taken an extra 5 or 6 yards, which Hartford got penalised for earlier.
Now Ordonez. Shot. Easy save for Siaha on the Nyangabire shot. One thing Olfarson's doing is not making it easy for Siaha to get the goal kick away.
That's a foul.
That's not called. Hartford regains possession momentarily. Then Morera
Get
taken
the
down.
cards out, referee.
And Jordan Scarlett is furious, or rather Macangila.
There's at least one player on each side that should be in the book by now. I mean, come on. If players know they're going to get away with this, they're going to keep doing this. This is totally on the referee.
Jordan Scarlett voicing his displeasure. No score as we are in the third of 5 minutes of stoppage time. They try to target Williams. Play on. Well, Farson comes back to help trigger. Boy, players falling down like 10 pins here.
This is like the game's being played on ice.
Well, it is opening night of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Bruins and Sabres.
In the box. Ordonez can't get a foot on it. Hartford clears. Well, now guys are playing are playing like it's roller derby.
Oh, come on. I think halftime whistle is probably best for everybody here.
You see TJ Prestis.
If this game was a shape, it would be Jell-O.
Played out by Fisher. Corner kick number 3. Both team with 3 corners. It'll be Pedro Santos to take it. Spent 5 years in Premier Liga in Portugal. The Lisbon native. And the referee blows his whistle. Talk to Ulfarsson. Ulfarsson just waves at referee Yaha. Yeah. Ball played out wide. Ulfarsson goes down, looking for a call, doesn't get one. Quick restart by Siaha. As we are coming close to the end of the first half, which, as Mark said, may be the best thing of all.
When does the football start? Oh, what now?
And we're going to get a yellow card on Richie Amon.
Hopefully the replay, if there is one, can suggest what that was for. Let's see.
Didn't quite see it there. Amon goes, me? Might have been a verbal abuse. And we've come to the end of the first half.
Wow.
Well, hopefully everybody will cool off as they go to the locker room. Hartford started out warm, then everybody got hot under the collar. We will hear from the Hartford captain in his interview with Mark coming up. It's halftime in Hartford, no score between Loudoun United and Hartford Athletic. You're watching USL Championship on ESPN Plus and the Wax.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
The Great Fire of 1835 forced most insurance companies to close, but not us. The day our founders pitched in to pay every claim is the day the Hartford became the Hartford.
This week on USL All Access, more interviews, less of us. The Detroit midfielder Maxi Rodriguez.
Looking for that back post again. Rodriguez scores! That's the way to start it for Detroit City at home.
The El Paso manager Junior Gonzalez. And plenty of talk about the Open Cup and those unbeaten and those recently beaten in the league. You'll see it SiriusXM FC or the USL YouTube page every Tuesday night.
Mo to the wide option on the other side. First time served, the Arbin couldn't quite square it and put it on frame.
Your leadership has clearly been on show as captain of the football club. How have you evolved as a person because of that?
I would say as a person, it's definitely just accepting my role and the responsibilities that I have to lead by example. Consistently, you can't really take a day off. You know what I mean? You're human. I'm human, you know, some days, but be as consistent as I can to lead by example, and just to know how to kind of navigate each player's personality. I feel like as a person, for me, I would say I'm an introvert, but like being a captain kind of like push you out of your shell, because you might have to go and talk to this player. You might have to talk to this player. This player knows other personality. You could be a little bit more stricter with this one, but another player might have to pull him aside and let him know. So that have grown me how to like communicate. And then as a whole, I just think it elevates my game, because now I know, like, once I wear the armband, my teammates is expecting me to make sure that I'm leading. You could have an off day, but we don't take days off. You know what I'm saying? Like, the effort, at least if the effort's there, then the ball you still have a chance. So that's kind of what I put myself, like, if I could give 100% effort, my teammates will be satisfied with that, and then they'll work with it, and, you know, collective come through.
How do you improve on a trophy?
So you start from the trophy, and then you force the standard not to be dropped. I think Coach Wheels and Coach Brennan does such a good job of like letting us know what we're up against in terms of like tactics, but a lot of times it necessarily doesn't come down to tactics. It's about, like, you know, how bad you want it individually. Because if we could win an individual battle, then the collective will take over eventually in the game. Improving on a trophy is just the day-to-day habits. Can we really believe what we say and believe what we do in terms of getting 1% better every day? When we come through the door, like, Thursdays are normally our easier days. Not because it's an easier day, you might just chill and walk around. You know, can you get proper recovery to make sure that you can really pop on a Friday? A good Friday sets you for Saturday. It's just taking honestly, it's just the details. I think if you want to be a top team, I always say it's a unfortunate reality. Where, like, you know, sometimes when you have a good week, you hope that one good week could last you a month, but it doesn't. Because next week is a new competition, you know, inside and out. Because the team wants to beat you, but a guy here is trying to take your spot as well. So I think that's like Coach Wheels keep reiterating that, like, this guy want to take your job. So now there's really like healthy competition within the group, and with a deeper roster now, as you can see, like, there's a couple guys that's missing, but we're able to still get these results. So it's showing like the guys are really taking their chances. And for me, it's not necessarily the 11 that wins a trophy, it's the other 7 and the guys that we leave back home that helps us in practice, but also come off the bench and raise the level.
This one slipped through nicely for Williams! Shining once again for Hartford! Quizera settles. Quizera!
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. we combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Loudoun by Olperson. Oh, brilliant play for Olperson! Teaching tape-type goal for Loudoun. Level again.
Poetry in motion for Loudoun. Thornley for Olperson, already with a goal to his name in this game, and this play is about patience. Off the throw-in, Thor and his teammates back out of that pressure, and that's when instincts take over. The ball off his foot, one-touch pass, tiki-taka football for Loudoun, a second finish in the game for Olperson, and that is your select USL Championship goal of the week.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. Time for headlines around the league. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Great job this week by Louisville City and Colorado Springs Switchbacks with cup sets. In the third round of the U.S. Open Cup, Louisville knocked off Austin FC 2-1, while Colorado Springs dominated Sporting Kansas City 3-0. El Paso Locomotive is literally beginning to motor its way through the championship. After their 4-0 win at Hartford Athletic, El Paso moved into second place in the Western Conference. El Paso is tied with Louisville City for most goals scored heading into Week 7 with 14. USL's young players continue to shine in the spotlight, and this week we feature Brandon Days of Louisville City. The U.S. Youth International scored his first professional goal last weekend. Some of his measurables include 21 clearances already, and he has won close to 60% of individual duels during matches played. The USL Championship has a pair of upcoming national broadcasts. Next Saturday, it's El Clamico in the Prinks Tires USL Cup. Then on Saturday, May 2nd, Detroit City hosts Louisville City. Both matches are on CBS Sports Network. Those are your championship headlines. We're getting closer to the second half. Let's get you back out to your match.
Anderson to his right. Cervania top of the area. Brooklyn FC strikes first at home. Flag stays down for now. Anderson in on Zamudio. Anderson slots it home. It's been Marcus Anderson's night. 2 assists and now a goal for the 22-year-old in his first season in the championship.
Halftime here in Hartford. Still looking for our first goal of the night between Loudoun United and Hartford Athletic. Mark and I will be back with the second half next. You're watching USL Championship on ESPN Plus and locally on the Wax.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient. The fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
The Great Fire of 1835 forced most insurance companies to close, but not us. The day our founders pitched in to pay every claim is the day the Hartford became the Hartford.
LazFly is the leader in airport parking at Bradley International. Save 20% by pre-booking on lazfly.com. LazFly is a proud supporter of Hartford Athletic.
It's the 5th time this season already that Hartford has been tied at the half. Somebody borrowed Mark's hat to stay warm. No score between Hartford Athletic and Loudoun United. Shots have been corrected. 5-4 in favor of Hartford. What do you make of the numbers?
Most of that was probably in the first half hour.
Exactly.
Because there was very little football played in the last 15 minutes.
Hopefully cooler heads will prevail as we get set to play the second 45. Hartford looking to avoid back-to-back unsatisfactory results at home, while Loudoun still looking for its first win of the season. As you look at Anthony Siaha, Player of the Month for USL Championship for March, has been brilliant. Has not had to make any difficult saves tonight. Only one shot on target for the Hartford keeper to stop. 3 for Adam Beaudry at the other end, including those 2 early on golden opportunities off set pieces by TJ Prestis. Second half kickoff will be delayed. We will bring it to you when it takes place. At Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals. So if you're Hartford, what strategically would you do different in the second 45?
Engelina and Obalola need to get A, more involved, and B, play closer to Augie Williams. For the second week in a row, neither you nor I have mentioned Junior Moreira's name enough.
Right.
I forgot he was playing last week.
Yeah.
But last week, everybody could take the blame. Today, you need more from him.
We are set for the second 45 minutes.
From a Loudoun perspective...
Yeah, well, I was just going to ask you, what do you do different if you're the team in white?
It's interesting because the change when they brought on Ordonez, you can kind of play with a front 2 now, with Richie Eamon kind of coming in off the left-hand side. But they just have to get closer. They have to involve Thor a little bit more by getting his teammates closer to him. So if he's flicking it on, he's flicking it on to a teammate and not just flicking it on in vain.
We'll see if they continue the pressure on Augie Williams. They apparently had targeted him for close coverage, trying to get under his skin, and it seemed like it worked in that latter portion of the first half.
Yeah, look, it's not illegal. I mean, you give fouls away or whatever. You just make sure you don't give persistent fouls away. But certain managers know certain players that you can do that to get under their skin. You use the perfect phrase, to get under his skin. And they've done that. He's got to try and put that to one side.
Here's Eamon, cuts it in the middle against Anderson. Plays the ball back. Good formation for Loudoun here. Noah Adnan. That one will sail out. And it'll be a goal kick for Anthony Siaha.
You spoke in the first half, and you were perfectly correct, that one of the issues that Loudoun have had this season is defending high balls or set plays. You can't guarantee you're going to get that many set plays, but you can get deliveries into the box a little bit more. Put them under pressure. How many times have I stood beside you and said, get it wide, get it in? We haven't seen that enough from Hartford since probably the 2 TJ Prestis chances early on.
Taken away from Obalola. Good play that time by Adnan. Possession goes back to Loudoun. Asenge has been an essential part of what they've done. Stolen away. And Galena runs onto it. Hartford needs a little Michi magic. Tried to split the double team. Akinyode displaced him and then carried out of bounds by Loudoun. It'll be a Hartford throw-in. Anderson will try to throw it deep. Just the start of things. Second half here at Trinity Health Stadium. Jody Ambrosio and Mark Donaldson and our Power Station Events crew led by Sir Thomas of Stanwood. Thrown towards Dees Pay. Bicycles, Williams, just over the top of the net.
He's got to score. It's simple, he knows it. He's got to hit the target. That's all you can ask for. If the keeper somehow gets across and makes a save, or a defender somehow on the line manages to stop it, so be it. But he's got to hit the target. Dees Pay has done really well. It's expect the unexpected to get that back in. If there's one player that Hartford want on the end of it, it's the player that had it and put it over.
Beautiful play by Dees Pay. Hartford regains possession, but Angelina gives it right away. Beaudry's got to come out to restart. Hartford being a little bit more aggressive on the press, but here's the ball played up the right wing.
It's good from Fisher.
Knocked away from Nyanga B-Ray. Michi beaten to the ball by Santos. They play through Ulfarsson. Here's Ordonez, and he puts it over the top.
Where did that Hartford chance come from? A wide area.
Get
Who'd
it
have
wide.
thunk
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk
Never
it?
see that happening.
But it's a positive. It's a positive for Hartford, who've started the second half better than both sides ended it in the first half.
Adnan just moved right around Obalola, but gets called for the foul. Nope, they're going to say out of bounds. Looked like he grabbed Adewale Obalola, but the ball ruled over the east touch line, so Hartford will switch fields to Seb Anderson. And Galena keeps it in front of the technical area. Now they play through Scarlett. Off to Britton Fisher. Loudoun really not putting much pressure on Hartford in the back three. Concentrating their defensive efforts. Nice one touch. Here's Michi. Tries to send it through, doesn't get there. Knocked away and stolen by Loudoun United. Anderson gets it back. Shots were 5-4 at halftime in favor of Hartford.
Too big a gap between the midfield and the four forwards that are playing in a line. That's a problem. Someone needs to come short, link the play for Hartford.
Here's Anderson looking to do a little damage. Michi does come back. Nobody moving though, Mark. Too many guys stationary. And Loudoun perfectly content with letting Hartford play with the ball 30 yards away from goal.
Yep.
Now Obalola cuts it out on Akinyode, plays it along the ground. No chance to get through Asenga, and it goes out. Okay. Hartford Athletic games better with friends. Unlock discounted tickets when you purchase 10 or more to any match. For more information, head to hartfordathletic.com/group. As you were saying?
We've got to get it wide. Now we need to get it in better.
Here's Anderson, long throw. Targeting Dees Pay. Anderson sends that one wide. And it'll be a goal kick for Adam Beaudry. Hartford's already been shut out 3 times in 6 matches. 2 scoreless ties against Legion and Miami, and of course, scoreless last week.
You don't want to become too predictable for the opposition.
Long ball played upfield by Beaudry. Sent out of bounds by Bolu Akinyode, the Nigerian. It gives them leadership on that back line, according to first-year head coach Anthony Limbrick.
No. They're forced into that now from Britton Fisher. That ain't going to work.
Well, especially when Williams has 2 bodies around him and a goalie behind him. Loudoun tries to play it deep. Hartford sends it out. Scarlett with the header. Hartford putting on pressure, trying to force the turnover. Dizipe can't control. Takes a knock.
I'm not sure why he would go down if there wasn't contact, but referee decided no foul.
Oh. We got a foul on Hartford there. And Brendan Burke clutching his head with his hands.
He's not the only one. Even the fourth official's just like, I got nothing, to Brendan Burke.
So the restart for Loudoun on the attack. They send it into the box. Cleared away. Loudoun maintains possession. Adnan plays it up. Nyangabire trying to dance around two. Prestis with the takeaway. Foul is called. TJ Prestis has been Hartford's best player so far tonight.
He has. And he's the one change.
Right. Sadata Naku was hurt. If you missed the beginning of the game, both Samuel Carriaga and Barry Coffey are available for selection tonight. We expect we'll see Carriaga. We don't know if we'll see Coffey or not.
Well, don't put him on the bench if he doesn't feel like that would have been his decision. He would have been asked, how you feeling? Yeah, I might give you 10 minutes. Offside.
Hartford offside.
Again, that's that lazy offside from last week, Joe.
Got to be cognizant, Mark.
Yeah, Obalola had a couple of them last week. Anaku had a couple as well. Especially if you're wide. There's no excuse. If you've got nobody behind you, you're looking along the line. You've got to be better than that. That just stops a potential flow of an attack.
Second offside against Hartford tonight.
Speaking of stopping a potential flow of an attack.
That will work.
Another yellow. Obalola this time.
So, for the Nigerian, his first yellow of the season. He accrued a few last year. First Hartford field player to get carded. Brendan Burke was carded in the 37th minute for dissent on the technical area. Loudoun on the attack, into the midfield, into Hartford territory. Drop back too far, Santos tries to get it to Ordonez in the box, can't get a clear lane, cleared out by Scarlett. Kept in by Adnan. And Gabiri plays it towards the box, sails all the way through. Nice job keeping it into Santos. They were targeting Ordonez, but Hartford cleared it away. There's just a plain push. And the foul called on Loudoun.
Yeah, I think Nyongabire has prevented the ball from being played. I think that's why he's been done here. Let's have another look at this. So, but yeah, that's exactly what's happened. Because you had a split second, the referee maybe could have let that go a little bit longer. That's what he's been done for.
Anderson can't catch up with it. Knocked away by Iman. Or I should say Eamon. Here's Dizipe. Plays it square across field to Britton Fisher. Now TJ Prestis. Hartford has stayed the same. One change came early when Marco Diaz went out with injury. Kimi Ordonez came in for him. Played for Anderson a little too far. Akinyode lets it go out. Corner or goal kick.
So we have this thing in football. It's not for everybody, called expected goals. Okay, the chance of a goal being scored from a certain situation. Let's put that into context with that pass. It's forced. Yeah, it's over the top, but there's a big chance that that ain't going to be successful. Was that the best ball that Dizipe could have played?
Now here's Engelina with space, but he has trouble trapping it, and that allows the double team to come up. And then Michi carries it over the near touchline.
It's good work rate from Loudoun. He needs a bit of help, though, Michi. Can't have two players against him with no options. I'm going to be hearing whistles in my sleep tonight.
Referee Ethan Yaya moving Anderson back for the throw. No score here in the 59th minute. Almost an hour in. Anderson played up ahead to Obalola. Blocked. Corner kick Hartford, their fourth of the night.
Just a word for TJ Prestis, who'd made a brilliant run in the middle in the hope that that cross evaded the Loudoun defender. A corner, so TJ and his friends stay forward.
Hartford's best chances came early on two corners. Prestis denied twice by Adam Beaudry. And the incessant whistle goes again. Are you allowing somebody to pull their socks up? Is that what that is?
As Jose Mourinho once said, if I speak, I'm in trouble.
Here's Anderson. Headed by Williams, cleared out.
Like the move, though.
Good idea, though, right?
Yeah, like the move.
Nicely set.
Mm-hmm. Did that for the second corner that TJ had the chance as well.
Here's Anderson, wide open on the right. Sends it in, sends it over. Fans on the near side jumping up in the air when they saw the net move, but
it's close.
It's because it hit the top. Flourish is proud to be the official catering partner of Hartford Athletic, providing healthy and delicious catering, meal prep, and takeout. Visit them online at flourishhartford.com or stop by their flyby location at 72 New Park Avenue in Hartford. Hartford starting to exert more pressure here in the last 5-6 minutes or so. Still, though, without a goal. That's a ball goes out of bounds. Loudoun was looking for a push-off. Loudoun's been looking for a push-off a lot.
It's worth the appeal.
Sure, why not?
Of course. Given some of the things we've seen tonight.
Ball played endlessly upfield. It'll be a Loudoun throw-in. If you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Jody Ambrosio with Mark Donaldson. Tom Stanwicks, Bobby Kaplan leading our technical team. Still looking for the first goal. This is Hartford's third home game, and they've only scored one goal from the field.
Yeah, Sadat and Aku.
That was early in the Indy 11 game.
33 minutes, Josh O'Brien's own goal giving them a point. Need to find the back of the net from somewhere. Last week happened, but they were playing against a good side, I think they're joint top scorers prior to this weekend with Lou City.
Yep.
This would be a concern if they didn't score and didn't pick up the 3 points against a side that's just got Sporting Jacks below them.
Anderson plays it back. Williams couldn't get to it. Good defense by Asenge, who's been on him. Middle of the park, Hartford takes it over. Prestis just gets taken down. Engalina on the right wing. Sends it across. Beaudry punches it out. Prestis back on his feet on the left. Once again, early on, much like they did in the first half, Hartford controlling the play. Dispe overlapping on the right. Engalina cuts it back to the 18. Now double team tries to send it through, and Beaudry out to the 6 to make a diving catch. So Williams was lurking there, Mark, but really the ball was over his head. He never had a chance. Now Obalola. once again, Loudoun just sinking back defensively, not pressing the Hartford back line when they're in possession. Eastbay tries to send it ahead and easily cleared out by Noah Adnan. I mean, to me, and tell me if I'm wrong because you know more, you've forgotten more soccer than I'll ever know, but to me, it really looks like Loudoun is in a defensive posture. If they get a break, fine. If not, they would take the result as it is now.
A clean sheet would only be their second of the season, and it would be huge. And we've seen teams come here, sit in and try and hit on the counter and do that. But they have threats in attack, Loudoun.
Here they come now. Into the box. Fisher defending.
That's really good from Britton Fisher.
Great job by Britton Fisher. Terrific defense from the 22-year-old from Greenville, North Carolina. Boy, that was textbook. Never let Ordonez have room to run. Middle of the park, it's Asenge. Takes it outside on Morera.
That's good hustle by Junior.
Now Murphy, the captain tonight, plays to Pedro Santos. Tries to split the double team and can't.
That was really good by Mishi. I want to see more of that from Mishi. Okay, they've got possession of the ball back, but defensively, that's what you need.
Ordonez tries to play through ball. Deespe comes out to disrupt.
The perfect word, disrupt.
Played to Richie Amon. Marked doggedly by Anderson. Now the veteran Santos was looking for movement. One touch back from Murphy. Now Amon. Tries to take it to the outside against Anderson. Tries to go to the byline. Gets inside.
Should be a goal kick.
And it will be.
The problem Hartford have got right now is their two most creative players are A, on the bench, and B, not fit enough to play from now. It's a process. And you don't just come on and change a game because you're fully up to speed. That takes time as well. But before that, Deespe is going to require a little bit of treatment after being on the end of the collision.
Andres Hernandez, the first one to put his kit on under the direction of Chris Wheeler. Gives us a chance to tell you about Westfield Bank, the regional community bank focused on the customers and their financial security, the communities that they share, and the teams that they root for. Westfield Bank, what better banking's all about. Online at westfieldbank.com, member FDIC. So, athletic trainer Matt Diaz out there to work on Arturo Deespe in the 68th minute. No score. Shots now 6-5 in favor of Hartford. Still just the one shot on target by Loudoun. Hartford with 3.
Identifying issues in life is easy.
Sure.
Finding solutions to issues is a lot harder. I just wonder, and I spoke in the first half about teams working out how to play against Hartford. You've got, in most instances, Thor Ulfarsson as the lone striker. At times he's supported by Ordonez and Amon on either side of him. But when they don't have the ball, Hartford have got a spare man at the back. I just wonder if a 4 at the back with an extra body in midfield might be the answer to help Hartford create a little bit more.
We're going to get the first change of the night for Hartford. Adewale Obalola's night is over, replaced by the El Salvadorian national Andres Hernandez. So he will go over to the left. Moreira's been playing in the middle, and Michi Angelina on the right in support of Augie Williams. First substitution of the night for Hartford. Angelina touches it back. Moreira sent sprung as the ball goes over the near sideline.
Deespace still waiting to come back on.
Hartford playing a man down in the back. Owuwa gets there first at the 18. Plays it up ahead to Eamon. What do you think is the delay in letting Deespace come back?
No comment. I have no idea. I have no idea.
It's almost like the referee forgot about him.
He knows. He's in communication with his fourth official. They're aware. Sufficient time has elapsed now. The only reason that refs normally do it is because the ball was in that area. The ball's on the far side. He's been allowed back on now.
Well, Matt Diaz was up with them, and the fourth referee, Colby Johnson, told Matt to go back to the bench.
Here's a chance.
Hernandez takes it away. Into the box. Shot. Hits the side of the net.
We'll never know if that was the right decision.
It was deflected, so it'll be a corner kick for Hartford. They're fifth.
Probably was, because Michi was there, but it's difficult to kind of thread that through. But the way Hartford have been from corners today, this isn't a bad second prize.
Fisher's up there. Deespace is up there. Prestis is up there. Being watched by Murphy. Anderson to initiate. And we get a warning from Athanyaya to Ulfarsson, who would come back to help. But we have not mentioned his name at all in the second half. Cleared out by Ulfarsson. Then we mention it. Back to Anderson from Angelina. Sends it in. Headed in the air. Beaudry punches it out. Cleared out by Adnan. So I knew I just had to say we hadn't mentioned his name, and he comes in to make a nice defensive play.
I want to praise the official there. I want to praise him for not blowing the whistle for the goalkeeper feeling he was fouled when he wasn't.
Long throw in, headed down. Ball is free and cleared out. Angelina races to keep it in. Williams into the box. Save made.
And he actually had a good advantage there as well. Credit where credit's due. It was a foul, but it was a good advantage. That's a poor kick out.
Hartford with numbers. Send in towards Williams. The header goes astray. Cleared up to the near sideline, and Eamon just clears it out of danger.
Yeah, it wasn't Augie that got the header there, because he was desperately trying to get it on target. It was like they've defended him really well today in 50-50 contests, Loudoun.
Although Hartford is winning more of the 50-50 balls.
Still 0-0.
As you see on the sideline. Thrown in. Loudoun starts the counter. No score. Here in the 73rd minute. Siaha had wandered out of the goal and goes right back in. Price Chopper is an official partner of Hartford Athletic. Soccer fans save 15% with your Advantage card off general admission tickets to all Hartford Athletic home games at Trinity Health Stadium. Visit PriceChopper.com for more details on this amazing offer.
You're a Giants fan, right?
I am.
Dexter Lawrence is going to the Bengals. You're getting the 10th pick in return.
Oh, nice. Good job by the Giants, because he didn't want to be there. Miscommunications that time between Anderson and Moreira. Here comes Eamon up the left side. Cut back in against Moreira. Room to roll against Macangila. Referee almost got in the way. So they'll reset back to Santos.
ESPN platform, so a little bit of breaking news from Adam Schefter.
Yeah.
A fair few Giants in this neck of the wood as well.
Sure.
Giants, Jets, and Patriots kind of...
Well, Giants and Patriots, the Jets are an afterthought.
What? You didn't have to say that.
Well, but it's a fact. I'm not lying.
Oh, you bitter man.
No, what? You bitter about the Jets? Team that hasn't sniffed the Super Bowl since I was in high school?
In the 1800s.
Yeah, exactly. It was hard getting the newspaper back in those days. Some controlled possession. Sent to the far side. Here's Eamon. Cuts it back to the left, looking for an angle. Sends it through. Chased down by Nyangabiri, who's going to be coming out here. Here's a shot sent over the goal.
Could be a corner. That deflected.
Noah Adnan.
That's got to be a corner. Is it not? Maybe
think...
the replay will show that the officials made the right decision, but that clearly came off a Hartford player. And I'm happy to admit I got it totally wrong if I did. Let's find out. Once it comes back in and... Oh, no, wrong replay. We'll never know. Every Loudoun player appealed for a corner.
Yeah. Although the verbiage has been much less towards the official here in the second half, towards Mr. Yaya. It couldn't be more, put it that way. Yeah. Here's Nyangabire and Siaha. Picks it off the turf at the near post.
I praised the ref twice. Whoa!
That's going to be a card. And I think Pedro Santos knew that.
It's one of these I got there as quickly as I could, referee.
Yeah, no argument. So it's not Santos, but it's Richie Eamon.
More importantly, Hartford are going to make a change in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
No, it was Santos. I was correct, because if it was Eamon, he'd be gone, because he's already got a yellow.
You're right.
Yep.
Carriaga will come on. And when you said Brendan spoke to you, he said he's got 10, 15 minutes in him, so he'll get about 15 minutes when he comes on.
Lucas Piras from Italy. Played in Serie D last year. Here's Prestis. Quieter here in the second half than he was in the first, but still playing a solid all-around game. Change fields to Deespe. No score. 78th minute. And Galena plays it up, gets it back. Now Hernandez tries to serve it in. Goes wide. Goal kick. Williams appealing. Falls on deaf ears.
Good delivery by Hernandez, and Prestis with a diving header. Putting his head where others usually put their boot.
So Carriaga will come in for the first time since the opener. He'll replace Junior Moreira. eFootball is here. Live your dream. Rep your team and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. So we'll see if Samuel Carriaga, who Brendan Burke calls the best soccer player on his squad, can open things up in a scoreless draw in the 78th minute. Fisher plays that one out. So it'll be a throw-in for Ordonez on the far side. Shots now 8-6 Hartford. Shots on target 4-1. Here's Murphy. Well, Farson tries to play a one-touch, and it's taken away. They look for Williams. Asenge there to play it away. Now Ulfarsson. Off on the right to Ordonez. Loudoun trying to link passes to try to form an attack, get that first goal of the match. Knocked out of bounds by Andres Hernandez. They play it through. Ordonez into the box. Scarlett at the 6 to clear it. Boy, great job there by Asenge to play it around Williams. Here's a soft shot. Siaha doesn't even have to go down and get it. He plays it with his hands and shuffles it off to Britton Fisher.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Okay.
I think we'll get a goal in this game.
All right. Now Sebastian Anderson charging up the right side. Plays it back for Carriaga, but Eamon was there to steal it right away. Now Murphy. Off to Kwame Oahu. Good anticipation by Disbay. Can he keep it in? Yes. Arturo with some nice movement. Gets it off to Engalina. Michi into the box. Tries to play it through, and Beaudry slides down to play it.
Really good from Disbay, but Michi's got to do better.
Yeah, it was kind of a soft ball that he played in.
I mean, it's put into an area where there's no Hartford player. He's got 3 in rushing.
Played back to Siaha. Modern Chiropractic delivers holistic, state-of-the-art care for back pain, neck pain, auto, injury recovery, and more. Their focus isn't just on alleviating symptoms. They strive to find and fix root causes, helping patients regain lasting health and wellness. Visit them in Newington. No score between Hartford and Loudoun United. I'm going to disagree with you. I think we end the night the way we started.
You've got the odds. You've got Vegas on your side.
Sure,
here.
Of course.
I just see it stretched a little bit more. It depends how much of a risk both sides want to take.
Well, Hartford's got to do a better job of service. They like the ball that Engalina just played. As you said, he's got to do more with that.
Loudoun take a point.
Oh, Loudoun would gladly go back to Segra Field with a point.
But they've got to be in a position whereby they can take advantage in transition if the opportunity arises.
Now Prestis carries it into Loudoun territory. TJ plays the back, gets it back. Or rather, Fisher, I should say. That's a horribly played ball that time by Carriaga, and that's just the timing.
The minute he plays the pass is the minute that Seb Anderson decides to make the run more central.
Andre Super into the game as Pedro Santos' night comes to an end in the 83rd minute.
If only we could think of something to say if he scored a goal, the player that's just come in.
I can't. Nothing comes to my mind. No.
I've got nothing either.
Nope. Expected goals, 0.76 for Hartford, 0.42 for Loudoun. Disbay will get there first for Hartford. Fisher in the middle to Macangila as Hartford tries to find a hole in that Loudoun United defense. In the middle to Macangila. He couldn't control. Here's Ulfarsson. Tried to catch Siaha out of the goal. Siaha able at the 6 to knock it down. Boy, Anthony Limbrick is furious out on the pitch. And I think he's mad at his team, not the officiating. Now Anderson. Carriaga gets away from Ulfarsson, pushes him off. 84th minute, still looking for the first goal. Britton Fisher. One touch from Andres Hernandez. Played up ahead towards Engalina, but Oahu is there. Here's Anderson, sends it in front, cleared away. Eamon will get there first. Another golden opportunity for Hartford they just couldn't capitalize on.
Anderson's done well there, though.
Good work by Dispay to take it away from Ulfarsson.
Yeah, that was harder than it looked.
Macangila swings it to the outside.
Is it worth putting Barry Coffey on for 5 minutes?
Plus stoppage time, yes. I would, if he can play, yeah. But as you said, if he couldn't play, he wouldn't be on the bench.
Yeah.
Here's Anderson. Trap, so he gets it back to Carriaga. Now Carriaga heads towards the middle of the pitch. Maybe Samu looking to facilitate. They try to target Williams vertically. Chests it down for Engalina, but he and Williams almost collide. Williams in the middle. Macangila spins, then cuts it back to Carriaga. Anderson. Now Carriaga looks for the one touch, gets it back. Carriaga plays it up ahead to Anderson, sends it through, cleared away.
I have to say, Loudoun, especially in the central part of their defence today, have been absolutely outstanding. Nsenge, Akinyode, and Adnan have dealt with the threat of Augie Williams. They've been very, very good, and that will really please Anthony Limbrick.
Here's Anderson's long throw. Headed up. Presta's got a head on it, couldn't direct it towards goal.
He tried to direct it to Augie Williams.
Swinging out, Engalina now on the left. 87th minute, no score, into the box. Akinyode clears it away. Hartford keeps possession. Hernandez plays it out again to Engalina. Michi looks to cut it back. Plays it back to Fisher. He sends it in. Prestis header! Third time TJ Prestis with a golden opportunity. He's had the best chances for Hartford tonight. Hartford continues to press for that goal to break the drought here at home. Once again, home next Saturday. Prince Tires Cup play against Rhode Island FC in El Clamico. Now Anderson cuts it in the middle against the Wuha.
Britton Fisher did so well to get that delivery in.
They look for Williams, almost sneaks through.
He's got to know. He's done really well, Prestis, but he's got to play in Michi.
Now space. Here's Eamon with room. Almost grabbed from behind. Plays it to Ulfarsson in the box. Cuts it back. Dispay with a terrific job defensively.
No chance. Not even his own manager appealed for that one. Stretch now, Joe.
And they blow the whistle. Shoulder challenge, right?
If Thor sees that again, I mean, he doesn't live up to his name there, does he?
Trainer's right out there to take a look at him.
Yeah. The key there was looking straight at his manager, who just didn't even bother appealing for it. There's a yellow card. Seb Anderson.
Anderson, his first yellow of the year. Fifth yellow of the night. Tonight's Hartford Business Alliance, Mrs. Journal Business Alliance partner of the match, Cervico. So, Headed towards stoppage time. Still looking for the first goal of the night. Ulfarsson will wait to be put back in the match. Looks like he was saying something to Anthony Limbrick, who kind of had his arms out saying, okay. Well, apparently Ethan Yaya didn't like the way the restart began, the drop ball. Now does it again. Over to Arturo Dispe. Anderson clear on the right. Sends it in. Headed down and out.
So good once again by Isenge. The Cameroon centre-back today has been a rock in front of goalkeeper Baudry.
6th corner of the night. You can see it here. So, Anderson will try it again. Let's see what Anderson has up his sleeve here. Or no, this will be Cariaga. Good ball.
Good
up in the air. Good play by Baudry.
Yeah, very good.
4 minutes of Brignell Vineyard stoppage time. Sloppy header by Hartford. Owuha momentarily controls. And Galena called for the foul. And we'll have another slight delay. Don't forget, the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Michien Galena is booked.
Yeah, and someone from the Loudoun bench, I think it's the coach, Limbrick.
So, yellow cards 7 and 8.
It's not been a dirty game at all.
Oh, not at all. Make that cards 6 and 7. 4 against Hartford, 3 against Loudoun United. There's a shot by Ulfarsson that goes wide.
Not far wide. Not far wide. He doesn't need much of an opportunity.
Much space, right?
No, he doesn't at all. A half chance is more than enough for him.
There's Thor Ulfarsson. Had the goal of the week.
I have to say, this is the 7th game Hartford have played this season. I've either watched or commentated like you on them all. This is the first time that I think you could have complaints about an official. I think the first 6, the referees and officials have been very good.
Played out of bounds by Cariaga. Kwame Owuha will throw it in right near the technical area. Headed by Dispe, and Siaha comes out to field it harmlessly.
I think our question about Barry Coffey has been answered.
Oh, I was going to say that at the 90th minute. I mean, you can't substitute in the spur of the moment, but if he had been available for that corner kick in which he's so good is on the receiving end, he would have been in there.
Might just be a psychological thing to try and get one up on the opposition when they see the team sheet, maybe.
Anderson tries to target Williams, but Isenge has done a terrific job on him all night long.
I think that's a really good bit of defending.
No aiming.
I've had a run for my money with my prediction of a goal.
Yeah. I've been accurate with my prediction of no goals.
Here we go. Still time.
Ulfarsson with a header that goes over the net. As we are into the 4th and final minute of stoppage time. See if Hartford's got one more push in them. trying to avoid their third scoreless draw of the season. Eamon plays it in the middle of them. Super.
They've had chances in this game, Prestis especially. And another day they could easily be going home with 3 points, but just not enough creativity tonight. That's maybe on its way back from injury.
Taken away by Mack and Gale. A good play by Beverly. Asenge takes it away from from Engalina. A woo-ha, and that'll do it. We have come to full time, and we have come to full time without a goal being scored. Third draw of the season. Scoreless draw.
It's also the third game in a row without a goal, Joe.
That offense, which had been clicking earlier in the year, Mark, just not as effective in recent weeks. And as we said, only one goal scored from the field of play for Hartford here at Trinity Health Stadium. So we've reached full time. Each team goes away with a point. Mark and I will come back to wrap things up next. You're watching USL Championship on ESPN Plus and the Wax.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
Have a birthday coming up? Celebrate at a Hartford Athletic game and unlock rewards such as discounted tickets, free cupcakes from Brown Butter Creations, a photo on the field, and a limited edition scarf. Visit hartfordathletic.com to learn more and reserve your spot. Well, I would say, Mark, a satisfactory result for Loudoun United, not so much for Hartford Athletic.
Didn't think they played badly. I didn't think they played badly. He was wanting an improvement, Brendan Burke, on last week, and he got that. On another day, the goalkeeper doesn't make those 3 excellent saves, and TJ